I'm Shane Keller. We're located 50 miles south of Valentine, Nebraska in the heart of the Sand Hills. Run a commercial cow-calf operation.
And you've been using Riomax for a few years?
Yes, will be 5 years of using the Riomax. I was probably pushing about 6 years ago, looking for something different. We were doing well, but wanted something more, and I saw an ad, a Rio ad, low consumption. That caught my eye, and the main thing we were doing was weaning calves on tubs, fence line weaning on tubs.
Sure.
And the tubs we were using were higher consumption. To get that much in those calves was difficult. That low consumption caught my eye, and it was highly concentrated, low consumption, which went to low cost per head per day. That really caught my eye. So did some figures, and yeah, the math was there. And so we tried it on weaning calves first. Significant difference on the performance of those calves.
What sort of difference on those calves? Like, what did you see?
The easiest, quickest thing for me to notice on those calves was the weight difference. A lot heavier calves,
Yeah.
gains per day on tubs and grass during weaning.
Right. Okay.
They were full. They stayed full. They
Rather than ganted
up,
Yeah.
losing weight.
Keep going. Sorry to interrupt you.
Well, and then so that led to the next step. Hey, look at what this can do to these calves. So we sell calves and keep all our own replacement heifers. And so those calves that got weaned on the tub stayed on the tub, and they've been on the tub for 5 years now. I mean, they've never been on anything but Rio product, either tub or loose mineral.
Right.
And the hair coats, the shine to them, the preg rates have improved. The percentage of cows that calve in the first cycle have improved. We talked about the calf weights have improved on weaning the calves and stuff, and like I said, in that first group, actually after they've been weaned, our performance gain per day has been higher on the Rio tubs. The contentedness of the cattle are content with what they're getting, and that it goes down to the Nutrizorb and the Escort that is in all the products that helps the digestion of the cattle. They're getting more of what they're eating, and so they're happy, they're content. And so you're feeding less. In the wintertime feeding, I can notice the cows don't eat as much hay as they used to.
Right.
Because they're getting more out of what I'm giving them.
Even through the cold of the winter.
Yes.
Yeah. It's IST, what you're seeing, their indirect supplementation technology, which is not a very well known concept. It's not traditional, it's definitely not mainstream. But when you enable calves or cows to better utilize every mouthful, in other words, get more nutrient extraction, even if it's poor quality forage, you're getting more nutrient extraction out of every mouthful, every acre, every bale, every cow, every day. And when you talk about contentedness, that's a big thing. Because when a cow is content and they're not out grazing, they're starting to lay down, they're conserving that energy. It's going to the fetal production, it's going to body condition, it's going to milk production, rather than her burning calories out grazing all day.
Yes.
But what do you see when you see contented cattle?
That cattle out there, like I said, laying around,
Just laying around,
happy.
So they're cut.
Yes, and so they're not stressing. So that improves health on them, on the calf side, the calf and the fetus.
Mm.
That's another huge thing that I have seen is the importance of good nutrition getting into the cow. for fetal protection.
Right. It's a big subject.
That's the start of that calf's life that either sets it up or breaks it.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. It's a word that we don't often use. The trajectory of that whole calf's life is determined there.
Yes.
And fetal programming is, well, because you don't see it, I mean, it's not something that's blatantly obvious. It's a lot of times overlooked, but absolutely foundational, isn't it?
Yes. And that is something I think that has been overlooked. There's been a lot of rain, a lot of places, there's a lot of grass. A guy would like to think you don't need to supplement your cows right now. We're asking a lot out of that cow. She has a big calf outside sucking her down. She has a calf inside her. If you're not supplementing, you're stressing. If you're stressing, problems show up.
Wow, that's a pretty potent statement. And to compound that with all the rain, that grass is pretty washy in a lot of parts of the United States.
Yes, a lot of it's underwater.
Yeah, real washy.
It just all comes together. I mean, all that I talked about, the hair coat, the contentedness, the heavier calf weights. It's all small, one small but huge thing after another.
Yeah.
The stretching the grass out, putting off feeding hay, putting off all that stuff. I mean, it all adds up, and that's money in your pocket saved. That is a great tool that the tub can be used for. I use them to take cattle to the less desirable areas. It'll draw them to those less desirable areas. They're over there to get the supplement. They graze.